We're talking about Space Jam. The film opens up on a backyard basketball court in 1973. A young Michael Jordan is practicing his basketball shots when his dad comes out and is like, "What the heck are you doing out here, Michael? It's past midnight and I can't sleep with the sound of you just draining threes." And he says that one day he's going to be really good at basketball and he's going to be so successful, and then he's going to become a baseball player, in that order. For some reason.
He has his life's journey figured out.
As they walk back towards the house, Dad is like, "Oh, and I guess when you're done all that, you're going to fly, huh, Michael?" And then Michael stops in his tracks, looks back at the basketball net, and he legitimately contemplates flying. He dribbles back towards the net in slow motion, and as he jumps, we slam into the opening title sequence. It's time to slam.
Welcome to the jam.
One of the greatest theme songs of any movie ever, to be honest.
I was ready to go to the jam and to slam.
Yeah, he asks you to do a lot of stuff in that song.
There's a lot of instructions.
Maybe look at the lyrics for it. Okay, everybody get up. It's time to slam now. We got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. And then later he's like, "Hey you, what are you going to do?" And he said this 20 times.
Antagonizing people for not jamming hard enough.
"Hey you, you're not jamming. Get to work." There's so many lyrics in this song. It's just remarkable. Slam bam, thank you ma'am. Get on the floor and jam. The song
doesn't say that. That's crazy.
He does.
That's
I just read it.
Slam.
One of the 1,000 lyrics in the song. And then at a press conference, Michael Jordan says, "Since I'm at the pinnacle of my basketball career, it's time for me to retire and become a baseball player for some reason." And the press is like, "What? Why would you do that?" And Michael's like, "Well, I said it once when I was a little kid, so here we are."
Up until that point, we're kind of following like a real historical timeline, right?
Yeah, this movie is all true. Then we transition up out of the press conference and into outer space and towards the intergalactic amusement park known as Moron Mountain. I was confused about the kid's dissatisfaction with the park because we see him on like this ride and then like the ride gets shot by a laser and his car flies off the ride and crashes into the ground. And then he gets out and he's like, "This place is so boring."
That's like, the least boring. That's the least boring thing that could have just happened.
That's the most exciting thing you could ever do.
What more did you ask for?
Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes are not more exciting than this. That's for sure.
That's true. Yeah.
We cut to the owner of the park and main villain. It's Swackhammer, played by Danny DeVito. And he decides they need some new attractions to help reinvigorate the park. And also he has all these tiny little alien dudes that are like filing his nails and like licking his feet. And he's drooling on them. I just watched Batman Returns a couple months ago. And Danny DeVito is in that as the Penguin.
Right.
And they made the Penguin the most disgusting, vile creature you'd ever see on film. He's also drooling gross, like black goo throughout all of his scenes.
That's like kind of his brand at this point, I think. Just drooling.
You know, like, yeah. What is it about Danny DeVito that's like, that guy should be drooling some gross stuff?
You should be a little freak.
Yeah. They realize they need to kidnap the Looney Tunes and bring them here to perform as slaves. Then we transition back to Earth where Michael Jordan is playing a game of professional baseball and he's really bad at it, but everyone is really supportive and encouraging. And then we meet Stan Jordan's overeager publicist / assistant played by Wayne Knight. He explains to Michael that he'll do anything for him and he's really intense about it. He gets really close to him whenever he talks and like...
It's so weird. He's basically just going like, "I'll wash your dishes, I'll kiss your feet. I'll raise your kids. I'll do whatever you need."
And then a cartoon spaceship flies by and everyone thinks it's kind of weird, but not enough to stop the game. The spaceship dives into the ground and there's evil tiny aliens piloting it, and they take the underground tunnel into the center of the Earth, which is where the Looney Tunes live.
I just had never considered that the Looney Tunes were canonically on Earth. I thought they were in their own kind of Earth, but they're on our Earth.
They don't normally live at the middle of the Earth.
Where do they live?
Normally, these questions don't need to be answered. The aliens emerge from their ship and demand the Tunes come with them as prisoners. And back on Earth, all Jordan's kids are watching sports news as the reporter rips on Michael for being really bad at baseball. Jordan switches the channel to Looney Tunes and Porky Pig stops the cartoon because there's an emergency Looney Tunes meeting. At the meeting, Buck tricks the aliens into thinking that they have to give them a chance to defend themselves at an event of their choosing. They chose basketball to go against these little aliens. because they're like, oh, the aliens are 1 foot tall. We should play them at basketball.
Of course.
But the Looney Tunes are all about 3 feet tall, average height, which is also not great for basketball.
No, I mean, you definitely only have so much more of an advantage. It's pretty minimal.
I think there's like a million things they could have picked that would be more relevant.
What do you think the best sport would have been for them to settle the score with?
If they wanted to just outright win, digging, maybe?
A digging competition.
Because Bugs has the ability to tunnel like it's nothing.
That's true.
It's one of his powers.
That's true. And he wouldn't need the other tunes. They could go back and just be on the TV, and he could have just dug against the aliens and
that would
been home for dinner. Yeah.
If he just dug a big hole and the movie was over. So next we cut to a professional basketball game in New York City. The tiny aliens are all stacked up in a trench coat attending the game. They take turns melting down into some goo, flying into a player's nose, and returning to the trench coat, transferring the player's talent into a basketball, rendering the talentless players inert.
I like the part when they're in the trench coat next to this woman on like courtside. She looks at her husband. She's like, honey, there's like a weird guy in a trench coat. And he just goes, yeah, I'm trying to watch the game. Look, what a terrible guy.
Yeah, because the trench coat person is clearly weird.
Yeah. Like, honey, there's a man in a trench coat weirding me out. Can you can it? I'm trying to watch sports.
In the next scene, it's just Michael Jordan shirtless, laying on a hotel bed. And he's watching TV. He's seeing that the players have their talent sucked out. And yeah, some of the players are like, they can barely even walk.
Yeah, they become...
They have like motor skills. Yeah.
It's to the point that they're getting like wheeled around the hospital in wheelchairs because for some reason they've lost their ability to even put 1 foot in front of the other.
Because that's all tied to your basketball talent.
But all the while,
your ability to walk.
Yeah, they just think they've got the yips the whole time. They're like, it's psychological. We'll be okay. It's like, you guys can't even walk anymore. Like, I think something's going on.
And back in Looney Tune land, the aliens use their stolen talent to transform into Monstars. The Toons realize they're now and in order to not be kidnapped and sold into alien slavery, the Toons must do some kidnapping of their own. In the next scene, Jordan is playing golf with Bill Murray and Larry Bird. Jordan, he hits the golf ball, and then the Toons use underground magnets to ensure he gets a hole-in-one. Then when he reaches in to get the ball, they pull him through the hole and transport him to their world. Jordan, he pretty quickly accepts his new reality, and Bugs quickly explains the plot of the movie to him. Then they go look at their training facilities, and it's really gross, so all the Toons spit on the ground and clean it up.
This is the weirdest scene.
It seems like it's like a parody of something I don't know or something, because like, what is happening here?
I don't know.
Spit shine, and then it's a whole thing.
A whole spitting scene.
Is spit shine a thing? Maybe in the 90s, people were spit shining stuff.
I think you're onto something. I think it was more of a thing, maybe.
This might have been before the Swiffer was made or something, and people just used to spit on the ground. And
we had an abundance of spit.
Then the Monstars enter. They fold Jordan into a basketball, and they play with him. And after that, Jordan agrees to help the Toons defeat the Monstars. And meanwhile, in the real world, Charles Barkley walks past some girls playing basketball at a local court.
This is my favorite.
He tries to... This is my most confounding thing I've ever seen. This scene is so out of place. He tries to play with them, but embarrasses himself because of his siphon talent. So the main girl aggressively tells him to be gone.
Be gone.
It's so sad.
And the song playing in the background.
Basketball Jones.
Yeah, Basketball Jones. It's just like a fever dream. They're all just yelling "Be gone" at Charles Barkley.
And Barry White is just singing about Basketball Jones. Like, who the fuck is Basketball Jones? And this is the most sad scene I've ever seen.
It is.
And it always stuck, like, I've seen this movie 1,000 times, and it was always, like, upset me as a kid.
It's like, you're not Charles Barkley, you're some talentless impersonator.
Yeah. You just look exactly like him, but with no talent, you fucking loser.
Basketball Jones.
it's so sad because there's never any resolution to this.
You know,
never comes back to, like, in a normal movie, he would come back at the end and play with them.
he'd slam and jam all over them.
He would jam them.
That's how the movie should have ended.
It's just this out of place, dark, sad scene with this insane song that makes no sense. Basketball Jones. What the f*** are you talking about, Basketball Jones? That's nothing. Is it a person?
I meant to look this up because I feel the same way. I have no clue what Basketball Jones is about.
Because on the album version of the song, it's featuring Chris Rock. Chris Rock is just riffing over top of the whole song.
I'm looking at the lyrics, and that's got to be what I'm reading here.
Yeah, he's talking about chicken and stuff. He's like, Barry White, do you want some chicken?
Yeah.
It just makes it even more confusing.
I got a Basketball Jones, oh baby.
So, Basketball Jones is not a person? It's a thing to be had?
Yeah, it's something that you have.
Is it like the blues? It's like the basketball blues, maybe? Like I'm sad about basketball, so I have the Basketball Jones.
This lyric just says, basketball's a chicken, an uncontrollable yearning. Like, what is that?
Basketball's a chicken. It's a metaphor. I don't know. I don't know what any of this means, but I think we're getting to the bottom of it.
It's apparently a cover of a song by Cheech and Chong.
Well, that's very strange.
It's a slang for a craving or addiction, which is what I kind of thought. Like, you're jonesing for something, but...
Oh, you want to be playing basketball.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley in this moment is not able to.
But the basketball's a chicken.
Chris Rock, I think they just were like, do whatever. Like, come into the studio, one take, whatever you say.
We're going to use anything that you do or say.
Anything you say, even if it makes no sense and ruins the song, yeah, we'll use it. And then back with the Toons, they're having a very chaotic practice when the overly sexualized Lola Bunny walks in and joins the team. She has legitimate skills and causes Bug's entire body to become erect.
It's weird. It's. I don't know what to say about it. They didn't need to do it.
Yeah. They're like, we'll have one female character and everyone just wants to f*** her.
Everyone's going to become physically stiff.
It's really gross. At least Michael Jordan was not trying to f*** Lola Bunny. That's something.
That's good.
And Jordan realizes that he needs his basketball stuff, so Bugs and Daffy go get it.
Yeah, they rob his house.
And yeah, for some reason, he doesn't go get it himself.
No.
His family has no idea where he is, but
he sends two cartoon characters to do a break and entering and sneak through his home. It's not the way to go about things.
You call your wife and let her know.
Call your wife. He doesn't call her once. He doesn't call her once during this movie.
Yeah.
I think that's the plot underneath the plot. Is that Michael's not calling his wife.
And now with his basketball stuff on, the Toons are in awe of Michael as he does a bunch of dunks. Then Stan walks in, Wayne Knight, and is ecstatic to find his missing client. He doesn't explain how he got here either.
No, he just shows up.
And now it's time for the big game. The Toons prepare themselves, and they have awesome new Toon Squad uniforms. The game starts, and the Monstars take the lead because the Toons are too busy doing bits. So at halftime, the Toons are in low spirits, and Wayne Knight spies on the Monstars and discovers their secret that they stole the NBA player's talent. And in the Toons' locker room, Bugs creates some placebo-infused super drink called Michael's Secret Stuffs. The Toons pass it around, and they become muscular and confident.
The game's not going well. Let's take performance-enhancing drugs. And
great.
Michael will give us a motivational speech. We'll get juiced. It's going to be great.
Another great moral to happen to a kids movie. So the Toons hit the court with renewed energy, and they use their Toon powers in more productive ways now, and they make a huge comeback. Swackhammer calls timeout, and Jordan confronts him and asks him to raise the stakes for some reason.
I went back to see, why is he doing this? Why is he raising upping the ante?
He doesn't want to go home.
He doesn't want to call his wife.
He's not told his family where he is. He doesn't want to go home. He could leave at any time.
Oh yeah, his family's at his baseball game. They're just waiting for him, and he's holding up the whole thing.
He's supposed to be there, yeah.
He doesn't even have the decency to say, don't come to my game, I'm not going to be there.
He's been gone for over 24 hours. He slept here.
He's a missing person.
Yeah, why is his family even at the baseball game? His wife should be like, this guy, maybe she's used to this. Maybe he's always like disappearing for 24 hours at a time, going to McDonald's and hotel rooms and just watch TV or whatever. So, yeah, Michael raises the stakes. He says, if the Toon Squad wins, you got to give those NBA players their talent back. But if we lose, I'll go ahead and go be your slave for the rest of my life. No questions asked.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't necessary, any of that.
When the game resumes, the Monstars injure most of the Toons, forcing Jordan to put Wayne Knight into the game. But he instantly gets flattened, reinflated, and then flies around the room farting for like a minute straight. Which is a real high point of the movie, actually. And it looks insane when he's flat. It's all crazy.
You can grab quite a few frames from this movie that look crazy.
So now there's no players left. So Marvin the Martian informs Jordan that they're going to have to forfeit. Luckily, Bill Murray shows up and joins the team. And Michael gets the ball and jumps from half court. The Monstars restrain him. They catch him in the air, but it doesn't matter because he stretches his arm really long and dunks it to win the game.
He slams it and jams it.
As Swackhammer verbally abuses his alien henchmen, Jordan convinces them to stand up for themselves, so they tie him to a rocket and he crashes into the moon. Then Mike says goodbye and shows up to his real-world baseball game in a cartoon spaceship. Everyone cheers for him. And he's been missing for 24 hours.
Yeah.
A cartoon spaceship lands in the field.
Drops him off center field.
First, Wayne Knight comes out with a megaphone, and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Jordan." As if this is like a wrestling entrance.
This is just a regular...
It's not...
It's a regular season game. He's just making the biggest entrance.
The coach is going to pull him aside and be like, this isn't how we do things here.
This is not how we conduct ourselves. I don't care what
You've been gone for 24 hours. And then later, Michael returns the stolen talent to the siphoned players, and all is set right with the world. Then Mike decides to return to the sport of basketball, and the movie is over. But in a post-credit sequence, the Toons let us know that that's all, folks. And Jordan pops up and he asks if he can go home now. And that's Space Jam.